The United States is a land where you can find successes and riches as long as you manage to land there. Thriving businesses, money, and knowledge gained from there are incredibly coveted, and you would bring much reputation and respect to your family. Those were the truth that I was taught growing up. Americans who hear that might disagree with that statement. I can also relate to the feeling of not being exactly a fan of your own country and see it as more of a, it's not as great as you think it is. I'm sure that if you live in a place long enough, you'll begin to see its flaws, and I'm not going to pretend that I know everything about America either, but I do have a certain mindset growing up. It is very nice to be told these things, but I'll believe it when I see it. Hello, my name is Bukya, and around December 2022 was my first entry to the United States of America. My only reasoning was to meet and hang out with friends with whom I have befriended online, so I hope that you're not expecting the Statue of Liberty in this video. Before I can get to them, I actually have to land in Seattle for a customs check, which sounds a bit odd for me since I was under the assumption that every airport can check for customs so that one doesn't have to spend extra time and money on layovers, just purely for customs. Well, complaining aside, I went through with it no problem. I checked in for my next flight and handed over my luggage for it, and had to wait for about 6 hours for my next flight. It was almost midnight at the time. I got myself some authentic American McDonald's fries, and I just slept through the entire plane ride. Jet lag has already kicked in, so I resolved to walk around the airport, and there I saw it. The first time in my life, seen only on TV and cartoons. Snow! It really hits different when you've been looking forward to seeing these things for real since you were a kid, and also because I was born around a certain event that centered around snow. The experience was cathartic in a way, but it was cut short after I found out later that my flight got cancelled. Cancelled? What do you mean cancelled? I rushed to an employee and asked for a reason for the cancellation, and I was told that it was because of the snow. So my brief appreciation I have for snow evaporated from that point on, but that's besides the point. I need to get to my destination, and since I told my friends when I will be arriving, and if there's something you need to know about me, is that I hate to inconvenience people, and vice versa. The employee did give me a lifeline though. There is another flight that takes me to another airport that's a little bit further from my original destination that will be leaving in 30 minutes. Gods, if not pressed for time enough, I agreed to take that flight despite the inconveniences. I looked out the window and saw the workers spraying for what can I assume hot water for the ice to melt to get the plane prepped up for the flight. With internal thoughts in my head, hoping that there's no more cancellation, my flight departed without delay from Seattle. What a great start. I am not going to look at snow the same way now after this experience. Screw you, snow. Now, my entire adventure in the United States takes place all in California, so assume whatever I said from now on is there. I landed on my designated location and managed to meet up with my friend, Kipes. I owe them a huge solid since they had to drive much further to pick me up, and they also give me a place to stay. As far as I heard, hotels in the United States are pretty unaffordable on a third world country's salary. So day one, my friends decided to do a hot pot together. Probably for customary purpose or to welcome me, and we went to a little shop to get food for it. This was my first encounter with another longtime friend of mine, Fizz. After listening to his voice for so long, you start to put their Sona's face as the voice. And Fizz is a gremlin shark, but in real life he's incredibly tall and covered with scratches from what I assume are cat claws, but he doesn't seem to mind. We spent the night toasting, eating hot pot, and chat together. It was one of the most heartwarming and memorable moments in my life, and everything I've ever dreamed for. I won't forget this for as long as I live. Day 2 starts with me having a bit of a crisis. Remember how I have to quickly change flights? Well, my luggage was still in the old flight and I had to have it be delivered to me. All my clothes and prepping for the cold and hygienic items are in there. I don't know when it would be delivered to me at the time, so throughout the week was me thinking how I can survive through the cold, since I am not much of a cold resistant person. My friends offered their clothes and we went through Walmart as well, but they were a little bit too thin for my specific needs. The best tool I got against the cold was the technology known as the heater. A lifesaver it was. The only thing that keeps me warm, albeit a little bit too toasty for me at times. Another thing I learned quickly was that to get anywhere in this country, you would need a car. And I meant it. There is almost no notable point of interest to go within the 30-minute walk of the area around my friend's home. I really want to explore and browse through shops, but there is just none. In addition to that, if I head out, I don't have a phone number for emergencies in case I got lost. I assumed the airport would have a prepaid SIM plan. I even asked my friends in advance how can I get one. Every time I ask about it, I get a confused look like I'm speaking in riddles. A shocking revelation to see that America doesn't do prepaid SIM plans at the airport. In summary, I was homestuck and freezing with only the company of the heater to keep me warm. In the few times I'm out of my friend's home was when my friend is free from their day job so we can go out at night. They took me to a little eatery with some of the most delicious sushi I've ever had. I think the dish was called Angry Dragon or something. Another time was a pizza place called Mott's Pizza where you can, I guess, modify your pizza to how you see fit. It's alright, it's filling at least. On day 4, I decided to stay over at Fizz's place instead, just for one day. And you know what happened on that one day? His heater broke. Of all the time and unlucky streaks I've gone in, this has to be some comeuppance I've saved up from my past life. So yes, I spent the entire day in more cold temperatures, still without my luggage yet, mind you. Now I did say that when I first met Fizz for the first time, he was covered with cat claws. Well, he does have a pet. 2 of them in fact. I dubbed one of them the evil one. Listen, I like cats, love them even. But I personally would not go out of my way in order to interact with them because I want to avoid getting into any claw situation. I leave these 2 cats alone for my entire stay, but for some reason, the evil one sees my leg as some sort of a scratching post. According to Fizz, these 2 are always shy around new faces, but I am a walking cat post to one of them. Things get even worse at night since these 2 cats don't sleep at night. And in order to protect myself from their night assault, I used my own coat to cover myself. As expected, I got stepped on multiple times. I don't know by which one, but I'm positive it's the evil one. Otherwise, we had some Five Guys. This was my first experience with this joint. And according to my friend, this place is known for their fries, and I am something of a fries expert myself. However, their main fries, the Cajun fries, apparently is spicy, and I do not do well with spicy, so I ordered the non-spicy version. And my judgment of the specific fries is, drumroll please, B tier. C tier when it gets cold. Oh yeah, the McDonald's fries at the airport, also B tier. Day 5 was finally the day when my luggage has finally arrived onto my very arms. Finally, warmth and hope has been introduced into my very veins once again. Never again will I check in 6 hours in advance on a snowy night. In one of the days, I managed to take a walk from where I was staying and stroll around for a good 20 minutes. This 20-minute walk was one of the best walks I've had in my entire life. Where I'm from, you don't really have a path that is designed specifically for walking. You gotta go out of your way to make sure you avoid the cars and traffic. But in the United States, I was able to freely walk on a pedestrian path without fear of vehicles and the wide open space of the environment. Basically no buildings to block the sky view, while the air is being so much more cleaner than where I live. This is not an exaggeration. When you have lived in a certain environment long enough, this might seemingly be a small matter to most Americans since they are used to this, and it may get taken for granted. But I'm just saying, citizens of America, enjoy your walks more. Otherwise, I have driven through the mythical area known as Los Angeles, and I have seen it, the Hollywood sign. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to explore, but seeing it is enough for me to scratch it off my bucket list. Closing off the story, unfortunate events aside, I really like the environment and the people I've met here in the United States. While it's not everything I was taught growing up, I still enjoyed my time mostly because my friends made it enjoyable. Would I visit USA again? Yes. But not now by the time of recording of this video. And also because a plane ticket to there takes a lot out of my wallet. Thank you for watching. Bye.